Alright, well, I'm still on night 1. I went back into it. I don't know if it got recorded or didn't get recorded. I don't know. And I picked the artist moniker, and they were just like, I used this one, and they were like, meh. And I still went by my character's name that I've already have, so shouldn't I use a nickname? I mean, yeah, doesn't that, like, I should have a vampire nick. Like, doesn't that make sense to you? Okay, well, I guess I'll just go by that. And I'm gonna stick with that choice because, in my opinion, that makes the most sense. That's why I saved it for last. It's like, it's like, my old life is dead. I'm gonna be a new person. Why should I use the old one? Anyway, I should have been reading that, and I wasn't reading it. So, let's go back to reading everything. She nods. But basically, she said, I need the official capacity thing, and I was just like, hey, why would I use my old my old name? Because I got to move on from that, right? Welcome to the Camarilla. Or Camarilla, I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I like to think Camarilla. I don't know. Seems like it's a more old way to say things. Anyway. Now, this evening proved even more eventful than I anticipated. But with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Aw, come on. There's not going to be hors d'oeuvres, some vintage vitae, shared, or people aren't going to want to, like, try to recruit me or some shit. I mean, I do belong to whatever. I'm her fledgling, but still, we're just going to be like, everybody go home. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Give me some regards to those who couldn't make it, Kadir, for a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Thank you for all appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to this. So did you throw this together because of me? Just here at the hole. If you say it that way, it doesn't sound so great. I mean, it doesn't sound great anyway, but still. It's like, you watch them, Kadir. Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched. Yeah, you will be judged, and if need be, you will be punished. The two of them live together. It's like, hey, I'm glad you're not dead right now, but don't think that I wasn't ready to kill you at a moment's notice, and I will not remain at that point. You're spared for now, and I'm glad. Good for you. God, the whole fucking, like, under his breath muttering shit, that's sort of fuck with me. Well, Tobias, I think we've both managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. How you've improved my evening is obvious. The fact that I've improved your evening concerns me, because that means you probably weren't in the greatest of standing, and as a Toreador, you've used this to whittle, weasel, manipulate, whatever. I mean, just as a kindred in general, that's a thing, but the fact that you're saying that out loud sort of states that, yeah, I'm not even like, you're like blatantly stating that I'm a means to an end. At a risk. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we could have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. And then she tries to roll it back, like, hey, the ball's rolling up. To quote Dimension 20, what was it? A Starship Odyssey. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges who have reappeared to refill the showroom's glasses. A conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe. I hope that's the right way to say it. I don't know. I'm so uncultured. Carafe of red liquid. He pours it into 2 tall glasses. It's blood again. That much is clear. You're in the two minds about drinking it, but the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. Was it Did they just start adding red into shit? Or, I don't know. Makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. Come on, man. Just get with the program. Seriously, you almost got decapitated in Final Death. Maybe that was a better choice, but you know what? You want to survive. You expected the same blandness you tasted a few hours ago. Wow. Okay, you really did. This is something you can smoky and warm. You making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. Oh my God! Did you kill a lumberjack? That makes me kind of sad. Blandness you tasted a few hours ago, but this one you can actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. Like, I taste notes of pine trees, conifers, mesquite. Seems like a lumberjack who has for too long been virginal, living alone in the woods for whatever reason and eating mostly venison, a little gamey, hunting off the grid. Got a little bit of a wiliness there, maybe a little crazy. Could be the Unabomber, who knows? It does strike you as a strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. Well, you've never tasted anything like it. I mean, I doubt this person's ever had venison in their living life. The smoky thing, it's like it's venison jerky, They didn't say anything about gamey. And again, it's a liquid, but some really good deer stew. Chef kiss. Highly recommend if you ever get the opportunity. Especially if it's like, nah, that deer was killed with a bow and arrow in an honorable fucking way. Like that's the way Native Americans did it. That's the way this person did it. Maybe they got a compound bow or a recurve, but you gotta respect. That deer was just like, and I'm hitting a vital spot and I'm bleeding out and there's a bit of kicking and it's pretty well done too fast. Before they bleed out, they're hit by another arrow in a vital point that, okay, good, now you've fallen down and then hit you in the heart. Do you like it? I think NYC caterers have very bougie ideas about what good blood should taste like. I don't know, the smoky thing, it does sound like they're like, yeah, we went to Canada or Michigan or Montana or Maine or something for this shit. Apologies, you must have so many questions. While we're on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. That, honestly, thank you. No, that's a great way to start. I just realized I'm a vampire, even though I should have put that at... I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! Just running around fucking Nicolas Cage style. Like, yeah, no, I'm just getting that. So, thank you. That's actually quite useful. Thank you, Sophie. Where do you get blood? Do you just go to, like, is there, like, you just have to, like, you go to your local bodega and you're like, hey, man, I'm cool. And then you just, like, Chappelle show, fucking, you gotta, like, show your ass or something, and that's how they know you're cool. Does the taste of blood matter? I'm gonna go, like, how much do I have to drink? That's I mean, that's, like, legit. Like, science, like, what's going on here? Feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? She's like, so the fun thing is, it doesn't. And it's just like, oh. The sad reality is, it will never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more. Yay! When you have an addiction, that's a responsibility. I want candy, bubblegum or taffy. Unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life, that is a one-way road to losing your humanity. Well, I already did that. Was that tonight? I think that was yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday. Like I said, Best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious. That seems like a fair way to put it. You know, you're just like, hey, you know, you need this, but you start hunting and you just like, you know, you're live hunting, you get a taste for it. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink. But it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Tomorrow, I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. See, so far, she seems pretty chill. I'm gonna worry about the beast. I'm sorry, just like that's what my character would be like. Wait, what's this beast stuff? Like, I already kind of figure, like, I know about the sire, I know about those other things out of character, but even in character, it's like, I kind of figure I'm kind of your bitch now, and I'm not like, oh, I'm a vampire, so hunting means I ain't going after fucking, this ain't Twilight and we're vegan eating like deer and shit. Like, you know. That beast you mentioned, is that a metaphor? Or do you think, I mean, yes, but also very much no. Oh, it's quite real, although not in a strictly physical sense. It lives in all of us. Our nature and hunger manifests. Those more religious among us connect to the biblical Cain, the rage of the first murderer, cursed by God, seething in all his descendants. That's a way to interpret the Book of Nod, but we'll move on. I, however, am a child of enlightenment. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be wary like any other kindred of this in this city and beyond. Actually, there is a lot to be said for quote-unquote enlightenment in different paths, but sure, let's go with that. Like, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. Individual kindred each have their unique relationship to their beast. What's your going to be is going to be remains to be seen. But you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also the masquerade. And she's just like, I feel like as she says that, she just leans in, and that means me, and I'll fucking 86 your ass like bad salmon, motherfucker. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. Everybody just sort of dipped. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. She used the word jalopy, and it's going to be like a gold-plated limo or some shit. Come. So the smile she puts on makes you remember last night's encounter with showroom, a similar eagerness to spend time with this person overtakes you momentarily, and then you follow her outside. Ah, Toyadors. Your sixth sense tell you she's an artistic soul too, and you unwittingly start projecting good qualities onto her. Ah! Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? Ah, yeah, I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to the traditions. The chief among them is the masquerade. As you might have gathered, first from a silently at a niche gallery, closing times, coming and going and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts so to the vast majority of kind. We remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. coughs and sort of spits out the word Twilight in disgust. Say, is that one television show about the vampire angel so popular? They're like, oh, yeah, no, Buffy, but Angel or whatever? Yeah, I didn't really watch that one too much. A little bit, but not much. Pretty sure at the production of this game, and even like when they were making it before it actually got sold and was like ready for people to play, that it had already kind of run its course. You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a bit more dejected than before. She's like, oh, I'm disappointed. I thought that boy was rather attractive, quite charming. I think he did a good portrayal, even if maybe he didn't know what he was doing. So it goes. It's like, because she's just so out of touch, like, time passes at a different rate for her. Our clandestine ways help us to remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip-up or irrational minds of 21st century humanity and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. I feel like the thing I would ask is either he's a vampire or he's not. That's not really my problem. The risk is obvious, and I'm not a dumbass. I do want to know what's real and what's not. There has to be some stuff that the books or movies got right, or is it all just vampires propaganda? See, that's a smart thing to say. There is a kernel of truth in every myth. Those concerning kindred are no exception. There are mortals who sift through and manage to separate the facts, though it doesn't happen thanks to Hollywood. Except for that it actually already has and does. I think in this world, in the world of darkness, most vampires are not harmed by silver. Most vampires do not have the reflection thing. I think that's for the Sombra or Giovanni thing going on. The painful bite, maybe that's the Giovanni. Or Nosferatu. Fuck. The Nosferatu looked like Nosferatu from the, that. Like, I think it was Count Orlok or Shrek or something like that. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does, but they each have their own things and whatnot. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? But we have no choice. We are night dwellers, but day sleepers. Okay. I feel like you're definitely not being completely accurate about that, based on my knowledge of various vampire lore, but also in the world of darkness, but sure, why not? Break it down, and that's fine. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us unless the wilder is uniquely pure and godly. Yeah, that's one thing. Cross is useless unless the person is... Unless, A, and most importantly, the vampire itself is, like, prone to weakness to that in some way, for some reason. Or B, the individual using it has, like, a faith-based power or something else that gives them that. Most of the time, a cross just held up by any rando is not going to do anything. And even with it having some value or power, it's not going to do like it does in the movies. Unless that person is like, no, me and JC were like this. Does a pinky swear thing. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze. Under which the right circumstances can often be the same thing. That's another thing I thought was interesting and a good game mechanic. Stakes through the heart, they don't kill you. They do make you immobile, which does fuck your shit up. You know, you get staked and you're paralyzed indefinitely. You're pretty, like, that's bad. You know, like, the person doesn't have to know how to kill you. They can just stake you while you're sleeping, drag your ass out into the sunlight, and back up and roast some marshmallows and call it a day. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory. Make sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. So it's vampires versus humans. Dun dun dun. So it's good to keep human friends. Do vampires watch each other's back? Ooh, neither of these. I'm gonna say this one. That makes the most sense. It's good to keep human friends. Makes the most logical sense. Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? That sounds like a right way to put it. In moderation, and best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends, I haven't had one of those for many years now. Alright, I'm gonna end this one because I feel like I actually got the point across, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna run out of time, and things are still happening, so yeah.